A while ago, I poured this bauble with, I was testing flow control consistencies, and it was quite interesting, the results. The link is above if you'd like to go and have a look at that video. And I decided that I wanted to sort of, that this is a nice bauble, but it just doesn't, it's not a stunning bauble. So I think I'm going to play with it. And so just to give you ideas, if you ever pour a bauble and you're not that happy with it, there are ways that you can actually recover them. So yeah, let's get started. But before we begin, I just wanted to say thank you for visiting my channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, comment. And definitely stick around till the end because I do have a surprise for you. But otherwise, let's just get started. So this is not something I've ever done before. It's going to be a total trial. I'm going to basically, my idea is to use some resin. I'm just going to be using art resin, and the very smallest amount. Gosh, I don't think, so when you consider... So when I pour, I fill my container to about there. So I'm probably going to be needing, just the tiniest bit of resin. And I'm going to use this mica powder, which is quite a pretty pink and a deeper pink to match up with this bauble. I'm going to pour it over the top of the bauble and then see what happens. I have got some gold glitter. It's very gold, this glitter though, so I might sprinkle some through the resin. I might not. I just want to see what it's going to look like. Resin is self-leveling, so it's very important that you have something to sit your bauble on. So, and the reason why I've chosen a surface like this is I'm hoping the resin will just drop off from there and not keep going around. But it might go around. Who knows? And what I will do though is, and I've got a scale, I have my nitrile gloves, I have got my mask, because resin is toxic. I haven't got my whole HazChem suit on because we're just measuring up such a small amount of resin. Resin in its uncured state isn't great for you. So I'm just, being careful. But what I will do though is, once I've mixed up the resin, I will actually set it aside, because usually I think you have about an hour's working time with most resins, 40 minutes to an hour. But and in the beginning when you work with resin, it's very runny, and I don't want this to be very runny. So I'm going to wait for my resin to actually start to harden a bit. So I'll probably wait 15 minutes or so, and then I'll pour it on this and we can see what happens. So I've mixed the resin together, and now I'm just putting in the mica powder. You only need a really small amount, you really don't need a lot. And then we're basically going to start mixing it into the resin so that we can get it ready to pour over the bauble. Up quite a lot now. So it's getting towards the end of its working time. It's actually taken longer than 20 minutes. This is probably more like 40 minutes. My idea was that I would basically just pour the resin around the top of the bauble and see what happens. I wanted to bring you in and show you the top of this bauble because it does look really quite pretty, but I've got an idea. I want to use this mica pigment but I just want to blow it very gently. Onto the top of this bauble. So I'm just literally blowing from above and sort of sprinkling it onto this gooey mess here. Oh, trying not to. Gosh, it's making quite a mess on my table, but that's all right. But this is actually looking quite pretty. So this is the final bauble, you know, the end result. So I basically poured mica powder. I think I added the aqua after I'd stopped the last video, but I just thought I'd show it to you. So I added the aqua, and you know, you can see the mica powder in it looks really pretty. You know, it has taken that bauble that was okay, but turned it into really quite a pretty bauble now. And when I videoed it, I had it sitting on a toilet roll. But what concerned me about, you know, when it was sitting on the toilet roll, I'm just spinning it around so you get to see how pretty it is from the side as well. What I really like about it, if you know, you come up close, the gold that was in the bauble pour is sort of shimmering underneath all the rest of the mica on top. So it looks really nice. So anyway, what I did is it was pouring down the toilet roll, and I was a little bit concerned about the bottom bit because I thought, you know, when I pull this up, it's going to look really weird because you're going to have this little bit at the bottom that's the old bauble, and then all this resin on the top, just going to look weird. So what I did is I actually got rid of the toilet roll, and I actually hung it up like that. And it was the perfect solution. I stuck this little thing back on it, popped it back on. And how I did that is I've got a pair of tweezers. So I was holding the neck of the bauble with a pair of tweezers, stuck the little gold bit thing, whatever, back on. And you can see it, the resin has caused, you know, it's all drained and caused a little, I suppose, a little knob. But I don't think that looks so bad. You know, it actually looks quite pretty, and it's like part of the effect of the bauble. When you consider that's how it hangs, you know, from the side, that's what it looks from the top. It definitely looks nice. I'm definitely happy with it. And, you know, the purpose of this was to show you that you can recover baubles. So I think this was a success. And the surprise I talked about is I do have an e-course on Udemy on how to pour Christmas baubles. I will include it in the link below. It's a really fun little e-course. So, and I cover other ideas in that particular e-course as well. If a bauble hasn't worked out how you want it, you know, ways to I suppose zhuzh up your bauble instead of having to re-pour the whole thing. So I'll include that link below. But, you know, basically I'm really happy with that. I think it's come out really nicely.